Welcome into the LSU Sports Insider pregame show. About 40 minutes away here from LSU versus West Virginia at the Baton Rouge Super Regional. This is game one on this Saturday afternoon. I'm Zach Ewing, along with Advocate LSU baseball beat writer Koki Riley, outside Alec Box Stadium, where I got to say it's like a mini football atmosphere. Lots of tailgating going on. The band is over there playing. Like, people are excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Traffic started up a little bit earlier. We have very humid weather, but, definitely good enough weather to play a lot of baseball. So very, very excited for this one today.
I did see like one rain cloud in the sky, so please don't delay the game 5 hours.
Oh, man.
They would never do that, I'm sure. We've never had any experience with that. But the
Yeah.
game is supposed to start, I believe, at 1:06 p.m. is the official start time. So that will be the first game of this best-of-3 Super Regional. And as we talked about yesterday, Koki, it is indeed a battle of lefties on the mound. It is Cade Anderson for LSU, and it is Griffin Kern for West Virginia. Both guys have been very effective this year. They both have ERAs like under 3.5, combined 14-3 record. Both have more strikeouts than innings pitched. Cade Anderson's the more accomplished guy, but especially given LSU's history of struggles this year against lefties, you got to say this could set up to be a pitcher's duel. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's why we saw all these all these lineup changes for LSU. I think now's kind of a good time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Josh Pearson's leading off despite the fact that he's a lefty and despite the fact he didn't even start one game in the regional. So that was a very surprising decision. And then Derek Curiel, who's been leading off for almost every game this entire season, has moved down to the number 7 hole,
Seventh in the order,
which is surprising. So there's been a lot of changes in this lineup, and I think it directly has to do with the lefties. The struggles LSU had against left-handed pitching this year.
I will say Josh Pearson, who didn't start in the regional, every time he came in, it seemed like he had good swings and good at-bats. I mean, he seems to be seeing the ball well, and he's a guy who can hit lefties, so we'll see what happens there. But again, the lineup, Josh Pearson leading off, then it's Ethan Fry, Jared Jones, Stephen Milam batting cleanup, Luis Hernandez, Daniel Dickinson down in the 6 hole. You mentioned Derek Curiel at 7, Michael Braswell, Chris Stanfield. So only the 2 lefties in the lineup. That's Josh Pearson and Derek Curiel. Of course, Milam is a switch hitter.
Yeah, and Dickinson, I think that's the lowest he's been in the lineup probably all season at the number 6 spot. It's really interesting, especially with Curiel, because he's a guy who's kind of struggled against left-handed pitching over the last month or so. And they hadn't really done a lot to, I guess, address that, for lack of a better word. And today we saw like a pretty drastic change by sliding him to the number 7 hole in this game. And I do wonder whether, Kern's slot affects the way they see Pearson in that matchup. Maybe they just feel like he can see the ball out of that arm slot that Kern throws out of better than someone like Jake Brown, because they're both left-handed hitters. You got to play one of them. I think Hunt Palmer made this point on Twitter that West Virginia also has a ton of right-handed relievers. So I think this is a game where you could definitely see Jake Brown coming into the game as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, there will be some substitutions. Now, on the flip side, Koki, West Virginia's lineup has 5 left-handers in it, including 3 of the top 4. Armani Guzman, who leads off, followed by Logan Sov, who's a right-handed hitter, then Kyle West and Sam White, 2 left-handed hitters. These are the best hitters in their lineup. And so you are getting the platoon advantage with Cade Anderson on the mound against those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why there's a decent chance we see a DJ Primo or a Cooper Williams in the game, especially if we're getting to the 3rd or 4th time through the order and Cade Anderson's pitch count's really, really high. Jay Johnson loves to play the platoon advantage, and I think you're definitely going to see that today.
All right, the weather. We got a little bit of a breeze right now. It seems to be blowing like left to right. It's kind of in our face, and we're standing outside the left field line. So a little bit of a left to right. It is muggy. I don't know that it's hot enough to really affect anything. I was looking. Griffin Kern is from Quincy, Illinois, which is actually right on the Mississippi River as well. Also right on the east side of it, actually. So he is used to muggy weather. Tomorrow's starter, blanking on Gavin Van Kempen, he's from upstate New York. So if anybody is affected by the heat, you could see a guy like that who's maybe not used to pitching in temperatures like that and going out and throwing 100 pitches. Like, I could see that being an effect. I don't know how much of an advantage you can glean from that for LSU.
Yeah, absolutely. And West Virginia can get pretty hot in the summertime.
Sure.
I feel like it's one of those like sneaky hot summertime places.
A little bit of elevation, but not. You can still get some weather there.
So I don't know if it's drastic. Like if they were playing Northeastern, or even Oregon State, that would be interesting to watch, right? But
And West Virginia plays in the Big 12. They played games in Texas outdoors. They played games in Oklahoma outdoors. I mean, it's not like this is going to be
Arizona now,
culture shock for them or anything like that. Probably a bigger factor is these guys probably haven't played it before 11,000 people very, very often in their life. Now, I will say, and we didn't mention this yesterday and said after our show that probably we should have, West Virginia is by far the more experienced team in this match.
Yes.
It's not only they're an old team. They've got lots of fifth-year seniors. I mean, look at their lineup. Only one sophomore in their lineup. That's Armani Guzman, who leads off. The rest are juniors or seniors. Whereas LSU, you've got obviously the freshman Curiel, you've got the sophomore Stephen Milam, and from an experience perspective, West Virginia played in a Super Regional last year. They have many more players with Super Regional experience than LSU does.
Yeah. LSU has some still,
a few,
but not a lot of guys who played a big role in a Super Regional. Almost nobody, if you think about it, right? Like, I mean, so like
Pearson,
Jared Jones was on that team, but he didn't really play much at all.
Maybe got a few at bat.
Pearson started, and that was it. Pearson's the only guy because he was a starter on that team in left field. Made those memorable catches out in Omaha. Made that really memorable catch in Omaha, I should say. And so it's really just him because everybody else, they were there for a lot. They were either there along for the ride or they weren't here yet. So it is a very different LSU team in terms of that Super Regional experience. But I will say, I mean, playing here at the box, like that's such an I'm not worried about that too much for them. LSU
9-3 all time in Super Regionals playing here at the box. Last loss was in 2019 to Florida State. So we'll see if they can get through. We made our predictions for the series yesterday. You picked LSU in a sweep. I picked LSU in 3, needing the Monday game to finish it up. After today, we'll play a 5 o'clock game 2 on Sunday, and then the Monday game TBD if necessary. So with that said, Koki, we're going to do our picks to click today. Who you got? By the way, but let me preface this by bragging just a little bit.
Yes, please.
My picks to click in the regional. We only did 2 pregame shows. Daniel Dickinson in the opener. All he did was hit 2 homers. And then Ethan Fry in the Monday game. We all know what he did. He led off with a homer and went 4 for 4 with a walk. Biggest hit of the game, the 3-run double. So I'm batting 1,000 right now. I don't know if I'll be able to continue that, but I need to brag while I can. So you go first. Who is your pick to click in this one?
I'm going to go with Stephen Milam.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? You know, he's seen the ball a lot better lately. The left-handed facing a lefty shouldn't affect him as much as maybe some of the other guys who are left-handed in this game, obviously, because he's a switch hitter. So, I don't know. These picks to click, it's hard.
Drawing a name a little bit. I'm tempted to go with Josh Pearson because why'd Jay Johnson put him in the leadoff spot? Is there something there? Like,
I consider him too.
Does Jay know something we don't know? I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to go with Bear Jones. Okay, who had a rough weekend last weekend, but seemed to figure something out in that Monday game. He did hit the home run in the 9th inning. He's getting the left-handed pitcher. I think he's probably kind of felt all week like, hey, I need to pull my weight this weekend. So I'm going to go with Bear Jones. Yeah, I'm feeling raindrops.
I was about to
So I
mention
don't
that.
know if that's a bad sign or not.
Very light raindrops.
Just a couple of raindrops. I'm very much fingers crossed this is just a little spitting and we'll be ready to go at 106. But, keep an eye on Koki on X. Keep an eye at theadvocate.com/LSU. We'll keep you updated on any delay situations. We'll also have live updates there in case the game starts, in case you can't listen or you just want to kind of read along with listening or watching on TV. So, Koki, any final thoughts before we begin the Super here?
Let's play ball.
Let's do it. All right. He's Koki Riley. I'm Zach Ewing. Patrick McGee produced for us today. The LSU Sports Insider postgame show is brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake Health, the official championship healthcare provider of LSU Athletics. And speaking of championships, they're looking for a Super Regional championship. They're looking to take the last step on the road to Omaha. And you can check us out post-game right here on these same channels. We'll see you then.